Hello, welcome. So today we're going to be taking a look at r/Am I the Butthole? I was actually just recording a entitled Parents, but I had to stop. Guess why? So a few of the posts that I read were on about parents that had stolen the social security numbers of the kids to take out credit in their name. And I noticed in both videos, the name of a credit building company came up. Very subtly. I read the first post and didn't even realise until I read the second post and their name came up again as a way for them to rebuild their credit. And I realised this company is doing undisclosed ads through these entitled parents posts. So I've scrapped the whole video and I'll have to go back to that another day because there was a couple of posts in there that were good, that were interesting, but I scrapped the whole thing because that was 2 out of the 4 posts that I was reading. So yeah, disgusting behaviour, and be careful when you're reading through entitled parents apparently, because there's people trying to slyly advertise to you. If you see a post where they are just, off the cuff mentioning this credit building agency that they're using now to rebuild their credit after parents nuking their credit score, yeah, they're using dodgy tactics to advertise to you. Don't use them. Anyway, that's my salty rant done. So anyway, yeah, if you want to go through some Am I the Butthole today, then please do stick around and enjoy. And don't forget to like and subscribe, please, thank you. First post. My sister accused me of punishing her kids and letting them go hungry because I told her that if someone like me can cook for my family, so can she. Am I the butthole? My sister grew up in a traditional household where men, boys, did manual labour and women did the cooking, cleaning and taking care of the babies. So I, 24M, was never taught to cook, clean or do anything womanly. It meant I never even used a microwave or made my own sandwich before I moved out of my parents' house. It also meant that my sister, 28F, never learned how to do anything other than cook, clean and raise babies, and she was encouraged to marry young, skip college and be a trad wife. I used to be punished for trying to enter the kitchen, and my sister would be punished if she did boy stuff with me. Wow, that sounds entirely toxic. My sister followed the path our parents set out for her. I have gone totally no contact with them, and my sister is my only bio family contact I have. We're not super close, but I love her and I always hoped that she'd eventually get away from the upbringing we had. For a while now, I have suspected that my sister got at least a part-time job to help provide for her family because she has been busier lately, and that was after months of her talking about financial struggles her family had. She would never admit to working because that's a man's thing per our upbringing, but I suspect it. If I'm right, this has made her more prickly and mean and judgmental. If I'm wrong, then she's just more judgmental and stuff anyway. This has become apparent when we talk. See, I'm married and my wife and I have 1 child together. We both work, we take turns cooking and cleaning and stuff, and I reduced my hours for a while to be home more with our child when my wife went back to work so that we saved on childcare expenses. My sister can't believe I do this stuff, and more than once when it came to me cooking, she said she can't believe someone like me is cooking for my family. To her, it's like the worst thing she could imagine because a man cooking is just a big no. Even professional chefs get shit about them by her, which is what our parents and all their like-minded friends did. Did you grow up in a cult, for goodness sake? My God. A couple of weeks ago, my sister asked me to send over some cooked meals for her family because she didn't have the time to make anything worthwhile or good. I asked her why she'd want me of all people to send her food. She said that she'd seen the stuff I make and she wants that for her kids. That she still can't believe that someone like me is cooking that, but since I do, I could help her out. I told her I wasn't sending her the food and that if someone like me can cook like that, then a stay-at-home mum like her should be totally capable of doing it. Which is when she turned around and accused me of punishing her kids by letting them go hungry because they can't eat like that because of time constraints. Am I the butthole? No, absolutely not. There's one of 2 options here. One, she's being a hypocrite and she's working and she's not telling anyone, but still bitching about everyone for doing the same thing that she's doing, which is not conforming to her idea of gender roles. Or she should have time and she just doesn't want to. Those are the 2 options, you know? I'm not being funny, but yeah, of course, when you're a stay-at-home mum, can there be certain times when you're going to be busier than others and you might not have time to cook a full-blown meal? Of course there's going to be. When your kids have like clubs and things to go to, it can stretch your time out quite a bit. But even then, if she is at home, a stay-at-home mum, surely she has time to just chuck something together. It doesn't have to be something insanely complicated, does it? So no, she's being a knobhead either way. So down in the comments, Jagzilla says, your sister sounds like a trained tool, not the butthole. You don't owe it to her to cook for her and her kids if she won't even try for herself and her kids. And then Winona DH says, I was just envisioning Gordon Ramsay's colourful response to her family's bullshit complaints about men cooking. Yeah, I bet they'd be interesting. And then Bunny Cook says, when I was in culinary school, several of the chef instructors flat out told us that women didn't belong in the kitchen. 2 classes that were half women. And because of that culture, a lot of the women who stay with it go into garde-manger. I am so sure I said that wrong. Pastry and catering. As for the chef who was head of the programme at the time, I asked him what options that left me, as I was supposed to stay in the kitchen and the bedroom. The most amusing thing was that I was paying for school with benefits from my full-time job as an auto worker building pickup trucks, another male-dominated field. Honestly, I think when people try to assign gender roles to the most like everyday tasks, it's so laughable. Everyone has to eat, no matter what bitch you've got, what genetics you've got, whatever. Everyone needs to get about in some way or another, you know? Everyone can learn how to fix a car. Everyone needs to get dressed in the morning. Everyone needs a clean house. Everyone has offspring that they may have to look after. People who feel the need to assign gender roles to mundane tasks or clothing or whatever, it just screams that they're insecure. And that be that. It's quite funny, really, because you know who the insecure people are by their views on things like that alone. And you know that they're just grasping at straws to try and stay above everybody else. And I really do hope that in our lifetime, we see the tipping point go in the favour of all of that bullshit being abolished, because it's so stupid. Ridiculous. Next post, am I the butthole for divorcing over my birthday gift? I, 40F, recently hit this milestone back in August. I had given a year's notice to my husband of 20 years that I wanted a party, trip, or something big for my birthday. We don't have financial issues. 2 weeks before my birthday, we got in a fight and he said he was going to cancel my birthday trip. Okay, petty and pathetic right off the bat. Come to find out, he didn't have a trip planned at all. He had only Googled flights. The weekend before my birthday is when we typically celebrate, and I was getting ready for my birthday dinner when I saw him laying on the couch and he asked where I was going. I then realised that he had no reservations or anything planned. My actual birthday was on Tuesday. In the morning of, he bought me flowers, coffee, and a Groupon. Oh my god. Yes, a Groupon. I was devastated. He defends his actions and said that he had the whole day planned, including lunch with my kids that day, but I had already scheduled my own massage and he said he wanted to take me out to dinner solo, but that's not how I wanted to celebrate. I called my friends and they took me out for a drinks instead. I told him that buying a Groupon for your wife of 20 years on her 40th birthday is insulting, and I want a divorce. With tears in my eyes, he said, "Let me make it up to you." A week later was our anniversary. No card, no dinner, no gift. It's been 4 months and I bring it up often. I cry and tell him that it's really important that he makes this up. It's not so much about the gift, but about the effort. He won't even take me on an actual date. I've completely pulled back from this marriage and I'm putting zero effort in, but I'm ready to divorce after 20 years of marriage over this. Is it petty to divorce him over this? Am I the butthole? At the end of the day, if you're not happy and you can't get over it, then no, of course not. And I have a feeling, just through the context clues within what we've just read, that this isn't something new. This is probably something he's done a lot before, forgetting important things that are important to you, you know, not taking you on dates, not putting you first, not showing that he cares, basically. So yeah, I mean, no, if you can't get over it, and, you want better and you want someone who's going to give you that. No, it's not pay to divorce at all. I think if you've given enough chances and that you've said what you expect and you've said what you need and that has been ignored, what else can you do? Obviously, I would always say when it comes to marriage, because getting divorced is bloody expensive and a massive ball ache apparently, I would always try to see if there's any reconciliation possible there, unless obviously there is like DV involved, then absolutely not. But yeah, if you're not happy, why stay? Life is too short to stay with people that make you miserable. Personally, that's how I feel anyway. So, down in the comments, Strongbridge9845 says, I have been married for 20 years. Yesterday, my husband told me, I've already ordered your new book. I hadn't even asked for it, and I didn't even know that one of my favourite authors had released a book. He saw it and did it, just like that. Ah, you don't get divorced over a trivial thing. You get divorced over a lifetime of disappointment. Exactly. And that's what I'm thinking it is. I don't think this is something new, because I feel like if it's something new, like, you wouldn't get that reaction from the OP. They wouldn't be that upset. So yeah, I feel maybe this OP's husband has been letting them down a lot. And this is like the straw that broke the camel's back kind of thing. Am I the butthole for evicting my girlfriend of 3 years? I'm 33. I received an inheritance when I was 24 and used it to buy a condo in downtown Vancouver, a short walk away from where I work. Stephanie is 28. We started dating 3 years ago and she has been living here with me for the last 2 years. As I own the place outright, I don't charge her rent. I also make much more, so I pay for pretty much everything else too. Saturday morning, about a month ago, she told me that she was going to a family dinner. Her parents live about an hour drive away. In the time that we have been together, I have gone with her to a family dinner about 30 to 40 times over the 3 years. But this time, I wasn't invited. Told me that they were having a family meeting to discuss what to do with Grandma, who was showing signs of dementia. Her brother and aunt from out of town were coming too. I own a car and she wanted to borrow it. So, she leaves in the afternoon. Around 10 p.m, I get a text that she had had a few glasses of wine with her mum and was going to spend the night. Next morning, around 10 a.m, she is still not home. She is not answering my calls or looking at my texts, so I call her mum, who tells me she's not there, and there was no family dinner. Oh dear, yeah, what's she been up to then? So what really happened? Around noon, someone is buzzing me from the entrance of the building. It's her. I buzz her in. First thing she tells me is she lost her keys, which included the fob to enter the building, the key to my apartment, and the key to my car. She also doesn't know where my car is. What the hell has she been up to? Turns out she went clubbing with a friend. They met a group of 3 guys and decided to go home with them. Stephanie was drunk, so allowed one of the 3 guys to be the driver of my new car. When they arrived at one of their places, my car was parked in a no parking area and later towed. It was parked at a bus stop in downtown Vancouver. Stephanie believes that she did nothing wrong as she didn't park the car. I mean, it's not just that, is it, Stephanie? It's the fact you lied about where you were going in the first place. I mean, yes, the stuff with the car is abhorrent because the lack of respect for someone else's belongings is insane, but you completely lied about where you were going. She also said that she didn't have sex with any of the guys, just her friend did. I'm not sure I believe her. She was just there to make sure her friend was safe. She doesn't even know the name of the guy that has the keys or how to contact him. That she had no choice but to lie to me because I don't like going to clubs. Was I wrong for evicting her? Her entire family thinks I am. Edit. Seems to be some confusing in the replies. Yes, she was also dumped, not just evicted. Yes, I'm aware it's unlikely that she sat in a living room overnight. Well, only her friend had sex with these guys. Edit. Yes, I got the car back, obviously. It's a new car. I am not donating it to a tow company. Called the police and they told me the number of the towing company. Picked it up an hour later. Police also confirmed that this would not be considered a stolen car. Her fob to the building was simply deactivated and not replaced. I have 3 fobs now instead of 4. Door lock to my unit was replaced for free by my building. All locks must be matching on each door, and they had a supply of replacements. Car rekeying is in progress and not cheap. Last edit. It was slightly less than 2 years that she lived here, probably closer to 20 months, so she isn't entitled to any of my home equity. According to my government-issued assessment value of my place, it went down last year as well. Yes, she paid for the tow. Did so without me even asking. We went to get the car, she paid. I have received a parking ticket in the mail that I paid. That she will pay me for. She has agreed to pay for the car rekeying. That is why it has not been done yet, as it is very expensive. Stephanie and her friend have been trying to find the keys. I really don't think they knew these guys prior or have any way to contact them. Yeah, OP, I feel like Stephanie's been taking you for an absolute mug. You pay all the bills. She's living in your house rent-free. Like, yeah, of course, you own the place outright, so you don't have to pay rent or anything like that. But she's not even paying anything towards the utilities that she uses or the food or anything like that. And then obviously, yeah, you don't like going to the clubs and what have you, which is fine. And if you were like telling her she couldn't go to the clubs because you don't like them, that would be a bit different. But that's not what I got from this. I feel she knew who these guys were. I don't think she's telling the truth about not knowing personally, because it seems all a little too planned for the fact she lied about going out in the first place. Unless you were the controlling type who was like, you're not allowed to go out, you can't go to the clubs because I don't like going to the clubs. Then why lie? Why not just say, I'm going to go out with the girls tonight? Well, that's not hard, you know? I think that Stephanie has been taking the OP for a fool. Anyway, let's have a see what the comments think, shall we? So, Fading Sunset Glow says, are you kidding? Not the butthole. Lying to you to get wasted with random people at the club. So much so that she had no idea where her car was. Does she respect you at all? And if you believe all her friends were all having sex and she was just sitting there, I'm sorry, but highly doubtful. Yeah, especially considering she clearly has a bit of a penchant for lying anyway. And lastly, to see nothing wrong with all of this, that's almost the biggest issue. She sounds like a train wreck. Her and her family are only bumming because she can't freeload anymore. Yeah, now her family have to have her freeloading off them instead. So, Dry Prompt 3182 says, do you know who is really great at keeping you safe? The lady that is extremely drunk, doesn't know the names of people that you are with, where you are, and is making terrible decisions. Yeah, her story holds no water. Yeah, literally. So, last post, am I the butthole for quitting my chore of cooking 2 nights a week because my little sister keeps ruining it and my parents expect me to start over every time? I'm 16M, the oldest of 4. I have 2 brothers, 13M and 11M, and a little sister, 8F. My 11-year-old brother is ASD. He goes to therapies twice a week until late, and my parents always struggle to cook those nights. We used to do takeouts. Then last year, my parents asked if I'd cook 2 nights a week, and they offered to remove one of my chores in place of it. I was like, yeah, because at the time I didn't really mind. A few months ago, my little sister started acting out and being difficult with a lot of stuff. She wants to stay up late and throws tantrums over not getting new toys or what she wants. The other thing is she hates not getting to choose what we have for dinner, and she starts throwing her dinner on the floor, and when I cook, she has started to knock stuff onto the floor while I'm cooking or prepping stuff. Or she'll spit in it a bunch to make me throw it out. Ew! What are your parents doing about this? That's disgusting. Or she'll dump ketchup or mayo in it, and it's always when I have sort of stuff close to being done, or when I've been making dinner for a while already. I stopped her a few times, but she'll try over and over again until she can win. Or she'll start spitting and aiming for dinner. Disgusting! What a horrid little kid! My parents never say anything to her, and they expect me to start over when she messes with it. Fuck that! They got mad at me a couple of times when I refused to start over when I was trying to take dinner up and my sister spoiled it. My sister doesn't listen to me either. She'll scream at me that I can't stop her, and it's so frustrating. I spoke to my parents so many times and they told me to keep calm and redo when I need to. See, this is why this kid thinks it's okay to act like that in the first place, because the parents clearly have no idea how to parent. But I reached a point where I couldn't do it anymore because I wanted to kick her out of the house when she was acting like that, and I know I can't. She's only 8. But man, is it frustrating, and she's so bratty about it. So I quit cooking twice a week and I started doing my old chores instead again. My parents told me I don't get to just quit, and they're fighting with me because they think cooking is more important and I'm quitting too easy. They said that we need to eat, and I was doing something really good for our family, and I'm old enough to realise the impact. Am I the butthole? No! If they wanted someone to cook for them, then they need to actually reel in their little demon spawn first. Oh my goodness. See, that's just a naughty child who's been let to get away with everything and thinks they can rule the roost. So, down in the comments, Broad Respond 2205 says, if cooking is more important, why aren't they dealing with the cooking saboteur? Not the butthole, exactly. OP says, that's what I wanted to know, but they just act stressed and tell me I need to get dinner on the table. And then Tokimage says, then put the ruined food on the table and tell them that dinner is served. Yes! Oh my god, yes. I bet they'll soon change their tune. And then Slovenly Muse says, this is the answer right here. If they don't care that she's ruining the food, they can enjoy the food that she ruined. If they want non-ruined food, they can step up and keep her from ruining it. Make yourself a sandwich and relax. Your job is cooking, their job is parenting. You held up your end. Yeah, and make sure that you let that sister know if she ruins that food, that's what you're serving her. I bet she'll soon stop. Okay, so I think that's all we've got time for today. If you made it all the way to the end with me, then I appreciate you very, very much. If you give it a little like, subscribe, turn your notifications on, that's your initiation into the Coven of Void. Welcome. Whatever it is you're doing for the day, I hope you have a really good rest of the day. Goodbye.